You got this our color headphones and everything. You got extra pen right here? Okay, appreciate it. We live. Hey, y'all, heads up, eyes open, and fists clenched. Y'all know who this is and how we do this. We're gonna go and do what it do. We're gonna start right here. We are having some technical or political difficulties on one of our outlets that being Freedom All Radio. We're gonna lock and load for this episode again of Freedom All Radio, intellectual radio. Y'all can hear us again live. Y'all go find us on YouTube. Find intellectual radio. If y'all want to call in, you want to get it in. Like Power Right Black at you. Freedom All right on, my sister. 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. Again, we have y'all, for those who may be familiar with those in our listening audience, whatever, via Freedom All Radio. If y'all can't give me a heads up and let them know that you did, we'd like to know that right here. We're gonna be catching up. We'll be catching up on the boards on Freedom All Radio. We're gonna work with this here right now, y'all. So you know, we say if it come down to it, we're gonna use 2 tin cans in the string and make it do what it do. Craig Combs in the building, Bob Israel playing Caesar, you know what I'm saying? Let's do this here. I will say bear with me. I'm not gonna say bear with me. Cuz with us, y'all. Real talk. So again, we getting locked and loaded. Okay. Pause for the call. I actually need that never, that charge of the intro music, that never. We live we love intellectual radio, y'all. So much stuff is going on. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna delay it. Making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the streets is hot right now. Hey, sis, how you feeling, sis? Right on. Y'all know the streets is hot. Internationally. A lot of things happening. Case we're gonna go into a minute. We're gonna go into the case of young brother Snoop on 71st and Jeffrey, who one of the latest cases of police terrorism. Again, one of the latest cases of police terrorism. In fact, we say every day is thank you, brother. Right on. Every day is September 11th for us, y'all. We are the OVs, the original victims of terrorism. So, y'all. 929-477-3785. That's one of the numbers. You dig? Also, we have call in here 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. But between time, we dealing with some technical, or better yet, some political difficulties via Freedom All Radio. So we're setting up for that. But again, till we get that set, y'all can call in right now at 708-223-8953. You know what I'm saying? Give me a minute. We're going straight to our subject matter. We live on YouTube right now also. Just trying to set this up. It happened in the building. Y'all feel free to type in or post up some subject matter you want to discuss. We're gonna go right into this case of Harith Snoop Augustus, brother gunned down by Chicago pigs, 37 years old. You know, it's actually interesting. If you I mentioned this before, when you type in these cases of police terrorism, you'll be hard pressed to find, when you say type in Chicago police murder someone. Even the deal is the politics of even the media, how they play, how the word game. What do they type? What do they put in? Even those who go to journalism school talk about how it's laid out to them. How the importance of euphemisms. You know what I'm saying? For example, they'll say individual died as a result of a police involved shooting. You know what I'm saying? Never just straight out point blank saying that someone was murdered by the police. But these are different dynamics, and we're gonna talk about. And want y'all to call in, give us y'all comments. You know what I'm saying? This is on 71st and Jeffrey. For those who may not familiar, Chirac area. This is the southeast side. Again, the southeast side of Chicago, or to be politically correct, Chirac. Give you a little background. On this area. Hey, free them all. Comrade Cool in the building. That's what it is. Yes, indeed. Give you a little background on this area in particular has a history of some uprisings and some hotbeds of resistance. In fact, approximately about 15, no, longer than that. Let me tell you how old I am. 20 some plus years ago, Bannister, brother named Bannister, who was gunned down by the Chicago police on 79th and Kingston. Again, 79th and Kingston, in which there was there was some uprisings and rebellions that occurred over there that were historical. Again, historical. It was on southeast side of Chicago. Then fast forward, and not to negate that there have been a number of different uprisings there. Hassan, right on, brother Fremont, see you in the building. December 2nd, a case that comes to mind around the same area, December the 2nd, 2002. Again, December the 2nd, 2002, and I just got released or unleashed out of the prisons, out of the concentration camps, several months prior. In fact, September 14, 2001. But December the 2nd, 2002, Durrell Hamilton. I think Durrell Hamilton's about 19 years old. He was shot in a minimum of 16 times on 72nd in Dorchester. Ironically, in which the honorary street name for that where he was shot at was Emmett Till Way, and Durrell Hamilton was gunned down December 2nd, 2002. And some of the dynamics, some of the contradictions that were exposed with this case is that the elementary school right there on the corner, I can't recall the name of the school right offhand, but the elementary school, the camera was right there, and they had the live footage. I love you as well. Right on, love you as well, my brother. Right on. And the footage had caught the actual the shooting of Chicago police gunning down Durrell Hamilton. And this is a cat who was, connected on the streets, and also he was part of for those in hip hop arena, in particular hip hop arena in Chirac, Bump J and the rest of them cats. That's who Durrell Hamilton was getting down with. And he was, I think he just got signed or was set to be signed, and he was shot down again. I almost said the name of this elementary school on corner 72nd in Dorchester. And the video, the camera had caught it. And that night, when the people tried to go inside the school, to demand that the tape be released to the people, the police had literally had assaulted, beat down family members of Durrell Hamilton, beat down community members, and they went inside the school, and the Chicago police had took the videotape. Make note of this now. Make note. We're not just going at memory lane for memory lane's sake. Make note of this. The Chicago police had went inside the school, on 72nd Dorchester, and they got the videotape outside of the school. And Black Panther Party Cubs and a number of different organizations, we went to do what we refer to as a people's investigation. We went over there, and again, contradictions such as not just the role that the police played, but the different dynamics of the state, the lawyers, how they came to the families and told them to stay away from us, so on and so forth. A lot of these contradictions, we fought to expose. Many of in that area, the various, we refer to the street tribes, the unpoliticized street tribes, not the gangs. Y'all know the opposition is the worst gang in Chicago Police Department. What was exposed, what we did, we touched down to these young brothers and sisters over there, and the state, using historical tactic, they had tried to get the various, create antagonistic situations. You heard before. I heard it before. Used the analogy like how the Belgium and French heighten the contradictions, heighten the class contradictions between the Hutus and Tutsis in Rwanda. So the state had gone over there and tried to create a intense, like, gang warfare situation, you know what I'm saying, to quell the resistance, to quell the uprisings, to quell the questions that were being raised about Daryl Hamilton being shot 16 plus times on 72nd and Dorchester. And I'm saying, I'm emphasizing these contradictions so we can make note that these are not new contradictions, you know what I'm saying, or these contradictions are not out of date. The state still utilize these different tactics. So, again, this is 2002, and that's just some of the tactics the state did to counter, you know, the resistance. They brought in bogus organizations. They tried to bring in what we refer to as GMOs, government-made organizations, though they wasn't as Machiavellian back, you know, at that stage in the game, but they did attempt it back then. Let's fast forward. To this case this case at hand today. This case of Harith Snoop Augustus. Again, go Google Chicago Tribune. Look how long it takes for the media to even make mention of his actual name. These are different dynamics done to take away the human factor. You know what I'm saying? Can I pull it up? These are the takeaways from the human factor, and this is how the intricate role the media plays, you know what I'm saying, and dehumanizing, you know what I'm saying, dehumanize our people. Like even the words the police use, they will use like the offender. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to other communities, they say it's like the victim. Sarah, I see you right on Freedom Mall. Toya, I see you right on Freedom Mall. So I may mention of a couple of contradictions in particular of the past, so we can attempt to correlate to some of the dynamics happening now. Because a lot of times people look at the police murdering us, and they just say, okay, just the police is murdering us, negating the different dynamics. Dynamics such again is which lawyers are sending in. How does the media, if the media expose what happened, which groups are giving media attention? You know what I'm saying? Who's funded? You know what I'm saying? Which family members are raised up? Which why all of a sudden you see strange shootings, an intensification of strange shootings? There have the Chicago police has you've seen also with a day or two the release of the video footage. This exposes contradictions such as they have access to this video. You know what I'm saying? Not telling they give it the runaround when school call for the release of the video footage, release of the pig's name. You know what I'm saying? What's the pig's name? They murder these individuals. And so with the resistance that's happening over there, that's caused international outcry that, you know, say all of a sudden the superintendent of Chicago Police, Eddie Johnson, no tears in his eyes, no crying about the victims of our community. Then when the mayor Rahm Emanuel, when he comes back into the country, you see this whole attempt to play this political football game. You know, so when our people tell me this is a teachable moment, and kind of like, you know, saying like, playing this liberal game. You know what I'm saying? But knows even individuals, the keywords they use, that the faith-based leaders. This is setting the stage for who's going to be your spokesperson, who's going to be, you know what I'm saying, called to the room, who's going to be sent out of the room and saying to come out to quell the people. So make note of all these different contradictions. You dig? Make note of that. Right when even in fact we went over there to the scene of the crime. Again, the scene of the crime where this brother Harith Augustus was gunned down, and exposed a number of different contradictions similar to like that of Philando Castillo when he was gunned down. How he had the right to carry. But the deal is, black folks, you know what I'm saying, this whole dynamic, you know what I'm saying, our people talking along, if we know the law, if we save our economics, the deal is this position, it negates, in many cases, it negates and also incorrectly states to our people that, you know what I'm saying, that there's not an actual war on us. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, if we attempt to dismiss it, saying, okay, if a person knows the law, if we legally carry, we'll be all right. We've seen in cases, again, such as Philando Castile in Minnesota. We've seen in cases such as right here in Chirac, Harith Snoop Augustus. We've seen in so many cases, you know what I'm saying, when the deal is, this is we ourselves, our people, we are considered to be contraband. We consider to be illegal, you know. And again, when it comes to the Constitution, as late Minister UEP News said, in regards to the Constitution, our people is nothing more than merely pagan poetry. Again, pagan poetry. And so we want to We want to heighten these contradictions. We want to say we want to deal with these contradictions. You know what I'm saying? So as opposed to keep on sidetracking, keep on pushing to the side. So maybe we didn't read this law right. Maybe we didn't file this form right. Maybe we didn't do this right, so on and so forth. And we see clearly. In fact, when we go to the days following, in fact, the actual day, and we're going to talk about that also. This on this Cub again. Cub, congratulations to our comrades, our Deputy Field Marshal and Tanisha. You know what I'm saying? Who had we had a phenomenal ceremony that day. But it was important to know. It should be noted too, though, that we Cubs in love and we Cubs in war. Again, we are Cubs in love and Cubs in war. Not only did that same day, that ceremony, we were on the ground right there on 71st and Jeffrey, conducting the people's investigation, talking to the people, you know what I'm saying, finding out what's going on. And you've seen different contradictions even still being exposed, still hot off the platter. Contradictions such as soon as we got there, the control, you know what I'm saying, the control protest, literally how the state had brought in certain individuals, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm talked about the initial march on Washington, how when the state said they can't stop it, let's co-opt it, let's water down. He said, let's bring in certain individuals. He talked about how the march on Washington, Malcolm X said that James Baldwin was not allowed to speak because he was scared he wouldn't go by the script. They bring in certain individuals, certain organizations that say, here's the script, this is how we want to go, and corral the people this way, so on and so forth. So we was right there on 71st and Jeffrey, and you know, and we want to commend the people because again, it's a discussion that's happening out there. Well, people are cognizant of, you know what I'm saying, more of these contradictions. You know what I'm saying? Contradictions such, you know what I'm saying, the type of who the media covers, so on and so forth. So we want to talk about that, y'all. Again, we're going through some technical, or better yet, some political difficulties right now with Fremont Radio. But in the meantime, in between time, y'all feel free. Type your questions. You know what I'm saying, on Facebook Live. Feel free to call in 708-223-8953, Intellectual Radio. This is Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. again at the Black Panther Party Cuz. This is Free on My Radio. This is a weekly program hosted by Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and also Robin Allen, aka the Lady of Rage. Y'all, again, let's make history. Let's take history. Let's tape history, y'all. We're gonna take a pause for the calls. I see Angela building, Jano, Stephen Hampson namesake. I see y'all. Y'all see this. Bro, no retros out. This is International Revolutionary Day 2008. But again, make note of some of the contradictions that we pointed out. Contradictions again, such as when the Chicago police have murdered Daryl Hamilton. Google it. Look, all of a sudden the strange murders and shootings that start happening. Right when the protests were happening 2 days ago on 71st and Jeffrey. 3 days ago. Mysteriously, some older guy got shot. The next day, a man or woman got shot right on the block where the protesters is happening at. And you see people still having reactionary response like, man, why we having black on black crime? Not negating these dynamics. Eric Mobley, I see my brother free them all. This is a historical tactic. You seen when the colonialists, when the Vapanon indigenous community, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, they would do different tactics. Look at the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party, which was actually colonialists, you know what I'm saying, they say was raising questions against the Crown, England, about being taxed without no representation. In fact, they refer to it as taxation without representation. However, they dressed up like the indigenous people, like the native people, you know what I'm saying, and that was actual Boston Tea Party. This is a city, people say, well, what about these black on black crime? Before you start indicting the community, no. This is the same city now of the infamous Woodlawn experiments. Again, infamous Woodlawn experiments. The Woodlawn experiments being with different powerful entities such as the University of Chicago, Sears and Roebuck, First National Bank, Ford Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation have funneled over $100 million cold cash money. You know what I'm saying? To various fiscal agents, in other words, pass-through, such as that of Reverend Arthur Brazier and the likes. And the money supposedly was trickled down to such street organizations as the Blackstone Rangers, you know what I'm saying, for programs. However, the fiscal agents got the bulk of that, and at the same time, the Chicago police were dressed like the then-known devil disciples. This is prior to the black disciples and prior to the gangster disciples. And they would do drive-bys on Stone's headquarters, and their buildings, the Peace and Love buildings, so on and so forth. Now, this created a crime epidemic. This was done in the 60s. So it's not far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? The people say, wait a minute, you got questions being raised about, you know what I'm saying, about the fraternal police, you know what I'm saying, who's blatantly, who has consistently made their position very clear. You know what I'm saying? They say that the police was justified. And listen to the statements. Who say nothing all bad, nothing all bad. Excuse me, nothing all bad and nothing all good. I think it's important that we look at the U.S. presidential selection, y'all might want to call it the election. But Donald Trump has said some key points. He said the system is rigged. You know what I'm saying? So in what is going on, make sure you take notes of these different contradictions. Brother C, good to see you in the building. So you see, with even in the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Rahm Emanuel say he hoped this would be a teachable moment. I concur. I you know what I'm saying? And man, I'm clear. Also, some kids ain't gonna learn. We don't care what you tell them, no. But people should take notes. You know what I'm saying? And see who aligns what. Notice who is not who doesn't have tears in their eye. Who is not crying for us? Because there's no presidents cry for us, no politicians cry for us. The other communities, you catch, you know what I'm saying? The emotional impact it has on them. When it comes to us, you know what I'm saying? We got to deal with this here, y'all. We live and direct, y'all, on Intellectual Radio. We live and direct on Facebook Live. Again, we have some technical difficulties right now on Fremont Radio, but y'all put the word out. Feel free to call in. As well as y'all want some give us some comments. Give us some comments right here on Facebook Live. That's what it is. Fremont, Brother C, that's what it is. August 30th, we come for the Chairman Fred Streets party, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all lock and load for that. You know what I'm saying? August 30th is going down. Stay locked and loaded, y'all. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history. Justice for Harith, Snoop, Augustus. Justice for them all. You dig? People saying, well, was he legally carrying a gun? What have you? Deal is, you know what I'm saying? Our community is considered to be contraband. Our community is considered to be contraband. We outlaw through the door. We said Young Panther Cub Pac said also though, when freedom is outlawed, only the outlaws will be free. When freedom is outlawed, only outlaws will be free. How we look? Any questions, comments, people want to, you know, add on, you know, saying jump in with us again. Feel free. I'm gonna check and see also if we back online on Fremont Radio. But in the meantime, y'all feel free. Type any questions in. I think we locked and loaded. Oh, I stand to be corrected. Well, we're gonna do what it do, y'all. Work this here. So feel free. Call, you know what I'm saying? Call in, Cub in. Any question you got on, you know what I'm saying, what's going down with the case of Reith Snoop Augustus. In fact, I can't throw out a stamp of approval on it because we don't know what's details of it, but there's supposed to be some mobilization, some actual mobilizations going on tomorrow morning to on the north side to the house of Mayor Rahm Emanuel. So you know what I'm saying? Anybody got, you know, want to add into that? You know what I'm saying? I still can't throw a stamp of approval on it because I don't know who's calling for this. We real cautious, you know what I'm saying? We do these call outs though, but again, so feel free to call in about that. Anybody get any information about that? And I just want to again congratulate, commend our comrades, and all the forces with the recent Cub celebration. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen it, you know what I'm saying? We was black and light blued out, you know, Black and Panther blued out. Real talking. And I just want to note, you know what I'm saying, want to commend our comrades, the Deputy Field Marshal Gio, and also Tanisha, who on that day, you know what I'm saying, we done engaged the protest. Section I see in the building is what it is. Free them all. And let me say this too. A lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying. After we went down there, you know what I'm saying, that people's investigation. We gonna get boots put on our cars, you know what I'm saying. So we been out there on the bus and some, you know what I'm saying, humbling as it is to say, y'all. They've been coming at us, y'all. Real talk. So, and these are certain things that a lot of these safe organizers want to deal with, y'all. So again, you know, so whatever y'all can do to support, make sure y'all support y'all troops. I don't care if y'all see us on the streets, y'all see our, you know, comrades there put a bus pass in their hand, one day pass in their hand, or what have you know what I'm saying, gas money, whatever you can do. You know, hit us up at Chairman Fred Jr. at gmail.com on PayPal, whatever support you can do. That's what it is, y'all. Free them all. Show Body in the building. Hey, it's interesting. Show Body. Hey, no doubt about it, man. Hey, Wheels and Nigel understanding to you too. I no doubt about it, man. Free them all. Yes, indeed. I was down in New Orleans, right? And we was talking to some forces, some cats. They was talking, man, there's people from Chicago down here, and now I bumped into some cats, you know, and they was questions. So we don't know if you really from Chicago, man. We don't, and you know, and their structure is just something else, man. So we, you know, saying he showed me a couple of his tats, his brands, and everything. You know, what I'm saying we cross reference, man. And it was good though. Yeah, but that's structure. And that's something that we really miss. We really need, man. Real talk. That structure in all aspects, man. Real talk. Free them all, y'all. Free them all. Harith, Snoop, Augustus. There have been ongoing mobilizations right there, 71st and Jeffrey. The streets been hot. People are talking about this case all over the world. Let's tie this case in. Let's make sure we maintain memories like Kenyan elephants. Maintain memories like Kenyan elephants that we never forget. Again, never forget, never forgive. Tie this in with the case of Ronald Ronnie Man Johnson, Rakia Boyd, Richard Che Richter, Oscar Grant. You dig? Your cousin, the brother down the street, so on and so forth again. And be very clear, this is not police brutality, this is police terrorism. And every day is like September 11th for us, y'all. Every day like September 11th for us, y'all. Real talk. That's what it is, y'all. Come with us. Call in. Craig, I see you in the building, man. Free them all. Y'all feel free to call in 708-223-8953. I think we're going to be doing our Triple C's again on 17th Avenue right there in Maywood. Y'all get the word out to, and also in Gary and down. Y'all touch down. Support your troops, the ones who fight for you. Real talk. Real talk. We're going to keep on trying to cub in, trying to take this number back to back. For them all. Harith, Snoop, Augustus, any questions you may have on that, feel free to call in. Cub in with us, you know what I'm saying? Feel free. Feel free. Andre Smith, I see you, my brother. Man, give us any questions. Feel free to type them in. We got a call in, but also 708-223-8953. Again, y'all, that's what it is. We live and direct. Freedom Radio, intellectual radio. Making history, taking history, taping history, y'all. Real talk. Y'all see that Panther Blue there? Sharif Aleem in the building. I'm gonna give y'all a little war while we waiting to see when they call in. You know, July 15th, again, comrades, we, you know what I'm saying, the Cubs, we had this ceremony. And we kind of, Comrade Daphne in the building. It's at the vestry. I see y'all right on in the building. And reason a lot of times we be hesitant with some of these, these words and terms, the conventional definitions. Cause we with the Black Panther Party Cubs, we are fighting. As Commandante Che Guevara said, we're fighting for the new man. We're gonna paraphrase it, the new man, new woman. We're fighting to be able to stand on our own terms. We fight for that precious entity is known as self-determination, against self-determination. And that's something a lot of people take for granted. Say, well, we got that. But the deal is, in many cases, whether it be how our manhood is expressed, where our womanhood is expressed, our childhood, our humanity, even organizations, a lot of them are controlled and told how to fight, how to speak up. I was listening to a speech of Chairman Fred Hampton, I think, ironically, University of Chicago, I think 1969. And something Chairman Fred was saying in the speech, he was like, he was responding to some criticism that was levied by People's Labor, white left organization. And Chairman Fred was saying, "Dig, you can bring the Black Panther Party criticism, but don't bring us no BS." But in his response, he had said something to the effect that, how many people do you know out there organizing, doing what we do? We above ground. If you see the state, the police know that. They say, Chairman Fred said, we are subversive. You come out, you ain't got to sit no informers down. You actually, you know what I'm saying? We are front about our position. And he has said something that Chairman Fred, I'm paraphrasing, he say, how many people you know out there, organizing, different cats, the young patriots, the young lords recognize them as their vanguard party. He said, how many organizing the Black Disciples? You know what I'm saying? He was calling a resume, and with that being said, it was a pride. I said, wow, that's an era of time when your manhood and your womanhood be best assessed to that, or saying, how much we organize, as opposed to climates that we've been subjected to, where it was it's raised up. Your manhood got to be found. How many other Black men you've killed? How many? How many women you've bedded? How much finance you get? All this you know, the pride, again, that's your cup of tea, so be it. But that dynamic, you know what I'm saying, even this relationship, you know what I'm saying, on so many cases, we have not been able to express our love and our, you know what I'm saying, and none of our emotion on our own terms. And I'm so honored, you know what I'm saying, that we were able to have this event, this ceremony the other day, and we had called for forces, in particular, you know what I'm saying, Deputy Field Marshal Gio and Tanisha that same day. It was a last minute call. Got to be right there on the deck, right there on the site where this brother Harith Snoop Augustus had got murdered by Chicago Police Department. And I'm gonna give you a little insight on this war story. I had I don't know the details, but I done heard different stories. You know what I'm saying? You know, women take them days. You know what I'm saying? They getting dressed, they getting ready, all that. You know, and I reached out to Nisha. I said, we need to be on deck. We need to tie this in, at least touch down on at that site with Harith Augustus was murdered by Chicago police. I said, now personally, I know in the back of your mind you saying some hell of, like you tripping like this, Chairman Fred. What is he on? And I said, this is a political leap, you know what I'm saying? And I even and it was I listened, and you know, and once again, Cliff Fist salutes, you know what I'm saying? Regards to respecting the structure, you know what I'm saying? And that's when respecting the structure, it's not, I don't want to romanticize it. It's not always that we like it, or you know what I'm saying, or even that we can even see the benefit in it, you know what I'm saying? That's a dynamic. We had to struggle against these the bourgeoisie. A characteristic of the bourgeoisie is you know, I have to know everything that's going on and how does it, you know what I'm saying, what's the end to a structure that I told people. I came up in a climate. I came up in an era of time where even cats around me, you know what I'm saying, it was if they passed me a banger, you know what I'm saying, that street heat, it's a code, it's a structure that supposed to say, okay, that is secure, you know what I'm saying, you know, I'm gonna send you out there blind. It's a and it's not based on that you trust everybody, or you know, like people say, I can't work with white folks, I don't trust. So I say, there's a lot of black folks I don't trust. So it's not a structure. A structure is checks and balances. It's like that machine in your car, that engine. You know, the roller spark plugs play, so on and so forth. And then I was even rapping with some comrades in the party. It was in the Black Panther Party, and you know, Comrade Stan would say, what's that? Okay, I got you. Okay, I get an update. Okay, Garfield Park. Okay, this Saturday you won't be okay. Force to be a Triple C out at Garfield Park also. It's on the west side, y'all. We still ain't getting no service on this. Keep your Saturday 2:00 at Garfield Park, and also 17th in Madison, and also in Minnesota. I think that's Nye, I need you to let me know, post up where we're gonna be at in Minnesota, also in New Orleans, Louisiana, also in France. The Triple C's are happening everywhere, y'all, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Children, community, and clubs. But back to this dynamic structure, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that it builds character. I tell you, I'm the chairman. You know what I'm saying? But this is if you ask me what I would do, you know, I say if you ask a woman, many women what they would do, and then ask what they would do for their children, you're liable to get a different answer. You ask me what I would do and I'll do for the struggle for our people, you know what I'm saying, you're liable to get a different answer. And certain moves that we for the greater good, you know what I'm saying? And also as servants of the people. And that's what we are. We are servants of the people. Many people may have heard that word. Many people may not be familiar with that term, servants. Many people, their only concept, if you do something for them, you got to be a slave or a vic, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, so it's premature to present ourselves to certain people, you know what I'm saying? But again, we are servants of the people. And this is expressed in our work, in our politics, our programs, our survival programs. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party, you know, it's the free breakfast program. The party members could not eat first. The party members, you serve the people. With our programs, we serve the people. And again, it's a different feeling, you know what I'm saying, of that sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? And again, on these comrades' date, on the, you know what I'm saying, their union is happening. You know what I'm saying? To we a point to be right there tying in again. Cubs, it's not we not just Panther Cubs in when it's out there. You know what I'm saying? When during February, you know what I'm saying? And love and war during the good times, the bad times also. So again, to go right there on July 15th, comrades right there on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You know, touching down with the people, and this is something that should be noted for the history books. You know what I'm saying? This because a lot of people say, well, I've done this too. You know what I'm saying? I say a lot of people escaped that chattel slavery, but Harriet Tubman went back. That sacrifice, it creates a different type of individual. You know what I'm saying? Minister U.E.P. Newton said that his mother, a preacher said, a certain amount of suffering is good for the soul. Minister U.E.P. Newton said that his mother said, a preacher said, a certain amount of suffering is good for the soul. And when you to do something for people that you don't even know, again, on their date, the comrades are going to get wedded, their union. You know what I'm saying? They don't, you know what I'm saying, know Haritha Augustus, you know what I'm saying? But they do know him. It's the people, you know what I'm saying? It's right on to the comrade. And I remember, and a lot of people cannot relate to that. I talked about the case of Daryl Hamilton, who was gunned down by Chicago police December the 2nd, 2002. And the Chicago Tribune, in particular, they kept referencing him as Daryl Hampton. They kept calling him Daryl Hampton. And I recall at this one mobilization we was at, and the news camera came over there, and I said, let me explain to you why you keep referring to him as Hampton. She said, "Oh, I didn't mean no offense." I said, "No, it's no offense, but let me explain to you why you keep calling him Hampton." I told her from Chicago Tribune. You cannot believe that I, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., as I'm out here, we're doing this, we're taking a chance of going to jail for an individual that's not related to me, let's alone that I don't even know him personally. You know what I'm saying? Because most times you listen to people, they'll say, "Well, the police did this to my daughter." You know what I'm saying? To me, and they respond. Harriet Tubman didn't know all the people that she can't make the moves for, and that's a different type of feeling. You know what I'm saying? It opens up. It opens up political pores. It opens up political pores. It's like when you running, you say, "Man, I can't make it no more." And you say, "Man, keep running." You almost that third wind kick in, and your energy comes from, you don't know where it came from. When you struggle for the interest of the people, you gotta be real careful. Now, yes, the climate. A lot of people are saying can't distinguish a slave from a servant. You know what I'm saying? Ross, we having technical difficulties on the radio, so we rolling with it on Facebook and also on Intellectual Radio Live. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube. So y'all check us out through there. Let me try this again. Real talk. Excuse me. Okay, y'all. We're still going through some technical, better yet, political difficulties. So, feel free. That's right. We had the challenge against subjectivity. Feel free to type in any questions. Edgar Short, hey, my brother, hope you feeling better, man. Hey, love, respect. My mom told me she's seeing you, man. We know we love you. Number love for you, my brother. Real talk. Living legend. Y'all feel free. Type in any words, comments, whatever. I'm grab a shot of water real quick. Hold on. I get one in the bag, I think. Okay, appreciate it. So again, I know I was laying it out there kind of fast, but again, y'all, for the record, on the day of the union, we went down there, you know, and hit the ground. Thank you, bro. Hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? That should be notified. And I thought about war stories, and I like it's a piece for this sister in the Black Panther Party talking about even at the breakfast program, at the free breakfast program, going into labor pains, and not making food for her biological children, but for the breakfast program. You know what I'm saying? That dynamic, you know, it's and a lot of people can't relate to it. You know, you see that look. I call it that look with that movie, Spike Lee's version of Malcolm X, when the guy Spike Lee was portraying a guy named Shorty, and he asked Malcolm, he said, "Man, what's the hustle?" I'm like, no, this for real. And it's people I talk to. I talked to a few different sisters. I tell my I said, we call that day. It's a couple sisters like, what on a wedding day? You call if y'all call protest? And you can hear the silence and and the deal is it's something you find out a lot about yourself and where you at, through struggle. You know what I'm saying? You're forced to ask questions because a lot of times you can lay back and you can engage in a lot of theory. You can engage in a lot of what Chairman Frey referred to as intellectual masturbation. You can romanticize struggle. You can say things which you would do under uncontested conditions. What that means is a lot of people say that they would do this and do that, but they're not faced with contested conditions. They're not. It's kind of we say like a shadow boxer. A shadow boxer is he say he'll go 20 rounds nonstop. He's not fighting anyone. You know what I'm saying? It's a different dynamic, and you learn about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like some people say, "Well, I ain't never told the police nothing." I said, "A lot of y'all, the police never asked you nothing." You know what I'm saying? So you get to see under contested conditions. You know what I'm saying? If a lot of choices, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? Then you have those who are just forced into this. You know what I'm saying? I mean that, the police gave an option, like the old Africans saying. There's an old saying, Africa says everyone is not against slavery. Some just want to hold a whip. But it's sacrifice. But you know what I'm saying? They go out there and say, okay, I might take, you know what I'm saying? I'm serving the people, you know what I'm saying? It's a feeling. It's a phenomenal feeling. It gives you a way to make historical notes, and it gives you a way to not dismiss certain historical landmarks subjectively. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, just don't say, okay, this is a day by me and I. But again, you are intertwined. Okay, we'll do. Well, right on. We'll do. Live and direct, y'all. We making history. We taking history. We taping history. Again, what's your questions? What's happening on 71st and Jeffrey? What's happening in every colonized community in this country and outside this country? You did? People say, well, man, what if you just get an education? We'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? What if you just get a job? Case after case. Case after case. Whether it be Philando Castile, Minnesota, whether it be, Harith Augustus and Chirac. People who legally get the right to bear arms. You know what I'm saying? But we see how the state get down on them. You know what I'm saying? So at the Chairman Fred Street Party. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all stop putting it out there now. Hashtag save the Hampton House. We need your support. Mm-hmm. We coming live at you on YouTube, Intellectual Radio. We hitting you over the head. You know, so we ain't cutting no corners with you, y'all. We live and direct on Facebook. Y'all feel free. Type in. Feel free. Let's make history. Let's take history. Let's take history, y'all. And I'm a little balanced because I need to hear that never. My wake up music, my charge up music. I'm going back to any questions. Y'all feel free. Any questions? Type them in. Type them in. Okay, right on. Just come right down. We get the word. The Philmont Geo's working on it right now, I believe. Bear with us. Get the words to come right, Daphne. Right, okay, we're trying to work them boys now. Trying to put them together. But again, y'all, look at the different dynamics. Look at the time of the strange shootings over there on 71st and Dorchester. This is done to contend with some real questions being raised. Look what organizations they bring in. You know what I'm saying? Make note. I mentioned about Daryl Hamilton when he couldn't get gunned down. Some of the same tactics that was implemented by them by the Chicago police and other state entities. Best tree I see in the building, Sharif Aline. That's what it is. Any questions or comments, y'all? Y'all type them in. Type them in. Let us know where we at. We talking about the case of Harith Snoop Augustus, gunned down by Chicago Police Department on 71st and Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? People ask the question, did he have the right to bear arms, so on and so forth. This is, again, another case of police terrorism every day of September 11th for us, y'all. Every day. Every day. August 30th, put that on y'all calendars. August 30th, put that on y'all calendars. Coming up to Chirac. August 8th, I believe Mayor Rahm Emanuel's home tomorrow morning. I believe it's City Tomorrow will be over there. I can't eat any more any inside information. I don't know who's supposed to be convening, but y'all check out for that. Skinners, he was in it. The streets are hot in regards to this case. There's so many cases, you know what I'm saying? So the state gonna be coming with different tactics, you know what I'm saying, to sidetrack us, hey, we keep on doing what we do. Superintendent Eddie Johnson in the press conference that the brother Harith Augustus supposed had drew reached for his weapon on police. There are different images have been posted. You know what I'm saying? One is showing the actual reach for the wallet, the ID. And it's a picture that's been blown up. They actually show the wallet being blown up, and then which harkens back and kind of puts you back in the frame of mind of the case of Philando Castillo in Minnesota, who was shot down for his lady and a child. The police had murdered him, and he was trying to show his Ford card. You know what I'm saying? And so it kind of puts you in the mind of there too, because that's the picture actually shows him reach for his wallet. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then you see the police and busted at him, shot him a few times. I can't. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to paraphrase what he said, but they were saying technically how to film buffers and would it catches, so on and so forth. But again, this it heightens contradictions. I mean, again, even we get our you get your gun card, you get your license, your insurance, all that. We are still considered to be contraband in this country. We are still, considered to be contraband in this country, regardless of everything else. You can have everything else, education. There's no more gangs. Warn us, warn our people, y'all. Y'all tap in. I think first, as I said before, this is not gonna be first on premise. This ain't gonna be last time this happened to us. You know what I'm saying? We really had to fight to, as what Chairman Fred would say, deal with these contradictions. You know what I'm saying? That's a deal with them on our own terms. Oh yeah. All right, Conrad. This is we had a ceremony the other day. We kind of hesitate to say wedding because we trying to fight the conventional definition of it. We had I had officiated, so our comrades they made their union, and comrade just said, my chairman, it was an honor to have you officiate at our ceremony. Your words humbled me and made me think to always consider the bigger picture. These pigs take no time off, so neither can we. Thank you for your commitment and sacrifice to make this program happen every single week and for the inspiring example you set. Love you, Chairman. Right on, Robles. Well, it's an honor. It's my honor. It's our honor. Robles, love and respect and appreciation again. To you, Deputy Field Marshal, again, it's in to all the Cubs, you know what I'm saying, to the families that came out, right on, Robles, love and respect. Real talk, you know what I'm saying. And I'm glad we, you know what I'm saying, we got to put that down for the history books, But what we go, how do we deal with this? first of all, let me say this. Minister Huey P. Newton said that contradictions are the ruling principle of the universe. A lot of people try to dismiss that things happen. The history of the role of the police. If this just started happening, I'll say, okay, maybe we need to have some sit down, some conversation. But if you on the streets, this is the history of how the police has dealt with our community, our people. And that acknowledgement has to come out. So we have to, even the games, the word games, the media is playing right now. What happened, so on and so forth. Let's be upfront. Let's be upfront. Like so when people go to say you come down, it's a certain mindset when you see a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? How you see certain. Let's be upfront. How our people are viewed. How black men, how they're viewed. How black women are viewed. And again, about this is not just this comes out. This is not something that by happenstance. It's a result of the propaganda, the politics. Even the U.S. Army was in Vietnam. How they viewed the Vietnamese people was a result of the propaganda, the movies, all of that. It's the deal is how our communities is a war zone, and the police in our community are not sent there to save cats out of trees. They in our community is an occupying army. When we see the police in our community, we know the whole thing. The bogus tickets going down. You know what I'm saying? How we view, how we looked at. So if that alone, calling that question was set some sort of rules of engagement, at least in the honesty. You know what I'm saying? A major disadvantage that our people are at that is not an acknowledged war. The type of discussion is the type of attempt to sidetrack. People. The first thing we as victims always had to say. This person was he was going to school. He had a job. I'm good with that being put out there. But the way we always, it's like in Nazi Germany when people were being gassed. You know what I'm saying? The argument did not premise with these people. You know what I'm saying? They were getting education. It was clear that the genocide was being implemented. There was an attempt to wipe out our people. This conversation needs to be put in the context that there is not a war on drugs. There's no war on guns. There's no war on gangs. It is a war on our people. You know what I'm saying? And that alone, at least that position, at least it sets things in a context. So the way we can frame how we can deal with something. You know what I'm saying? So they can't keep on insulting our intelligence. I'll say day to state, bringing some of the same. They had these police review boards. It'd be actual police. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a chairman for us. You can't get Frank James calling Frank James stuff with. Excellent question. How do we solve this? Again, I like that mattress. Alcoholics Anonymous on their mattress is the first step in solving the problem. Just we have a problem. Every time we come close to grips, we recognize we have a problem. And you've seen the rebellions, the uprisings that were happening. That's what caused for people to start having some type of different discussion. In Ferguson, we went to Ferguson. Guys said, "Well, people shouldn't." Some guy from Michigan was down there. He said, "Well, he disagreed with the people the way they acted down. They turned up their community." I said, "What brought you down here, man?" I said, "What got the world looking at this here?" And so, whatever the dynamic, even Dr. King said, he said riots. We disagree with that term, but Dr. King said riots are the voice of the unheard. This dynamic is happening on a day-to-day basis in our community. And we get the force. We can say, let's seize the time and put this out there again on our own terms. Have this conversation. What's going on with us? Why is it to the point to the point that it's always go put up an article. Type in Harith Augustus. Type his name in. Type in Chicago Tribune. Type in Chicago Tribune and type in Harith Augustus. Look at call this. Let me just comment one. I'll call in too. Yeah. Gotta change the go. Thank you, Deputy Field Marshal. And I thank all the comrades too, y'all. Did it feel Marshall on the board? Curls on the board. I say that. I keep it objective. This is a piece I had did a while ago about people. The people's pain reflects. The people's pain reflects. We hurt when Oscar Grant is gunned down in California. We hurt A lot of people in New Orleans, you know, some victims of Hurricane America. We heard Harith Augustus gunned down. We heard when Rekia Boyd shot in the head by Chicago police. The people's pain reflects, y'all, and we gotta make that connection, y'all. The people's pain reflects. This is a piece I did some years ago. Y'all can find it on SoundCloud. Again, the people's pain reflects. The Winnie Mandela's, the Kwame Nkrumahs. We also have to make that connection. We can't wait till it happens to us as individuals. We cannot afford to be subjective in this struggle. We cannot afford to be subjective in this struggle. We have to make that connection. One of us are hit or impacted, and impacts all of us. But again, for those who just tuning in over there on Freedom Radio, we talk about what needs to be done. Why, let's acknowledge the different. Let's fight the dynamics of this war that's being waged on us. I was just making a comment. Go type in Chicago Tribune. Look at the narrative. Look how long it takes them to even mention his name. This is something that in speech writing classes and journalism, they tell you like when or not mention the individual, it takes away from the human, the human dynamic, the human relationship to it, to what's happening. When we talk about the police terrorism in our community, if it's talked about, it's done with these fact, these stats, these numbers that, what I'm saying, it's kind of like you look at Vietnam, the Vietnamese people, what I'm saying, you would hear these different dynamics about so many casualties. You can relate to that number by no casualties in Vietnam, and even the American press itself has said they made the error, they made the mistake of allowing the media coverage in Vietnam. So you seeing these pictures of these children, with napalm, you know what I'm saying? You seeing the images, the actual training, you seeing the U.S. aggression against the Vietnamese people. The world was able to see it, and the deal is, at the same time, the Vietnamese resistance was not kowtowing or fighting by U.S. imperialism's rules, or or in other words, they were saying, okay, let's follow Robert Rule's order. You said we could say this. They were fighting. Their propaganda was put out. They strategically, who they talk to. A lot of times in our community, we be wasting valuable time debating with individuals, who have clearly made their position clear. People don't, people on 7 what if we talk to this person? Inside our households and our families, there are some people who, no matter how much you talk to them, they have a line. So a lot of people say, Chairman Fred, sometimes you can be divisive. I say, no. What we do is identify. We understand what Sun Tzu said, the cardinal principle of warfare is know thyself and know thy enemy. We have to heighten these contradictions. The Vietnamese, they were working with limited resources. So they said, okay, with that being said, let's target Saigon with a lot of the black troops or the black soldiers over there fighting that. Let's make sure we drop the propaganda leaflets, the bombs over there. They would, at the time, they would do it. They would drop flags over there. They would say stuff, hey, free mom, my sister, right on. We back in, we back online, right on. And the propaganda would come in to the black soldiers. They did psychological profiles. They said, okay, no, this troops right here, they pretty much hard line. So they have around with U.S. imperialism. They would say, the propaganda would say, why are you over here fighting for the country that just killed Dr. King, just killed Chairman Fred? The timing. So what we need to do is let's start being very clear. Some people cannot even relate to what we're talking about. In fact, there's been a lot of discussion recently. They're talking about how different people have seen this video footage different ways. The same footage, the same exact footage of Harith Snoop Augustus. There are different responses. It's kind of like in the movie on Living Color. There was an old image where they would show a black family and a white family watching the news. Same news coverage. 2 different total responses. You know what I'm saying? And we have come to grips with that. It's this whole appealing to people's moral character. Some people they have no frame of reference to what we're talking about. So we don't have the resources and time. We got to move fast. We got to move organized to heighten these contradictions again and move with a confidence. Because a lot of times you try to like people, they have you engaged in a time wasting, excursion, futility. You know what I'm saying? Asking you, did you have your license? They done showed this man had a Ford card. He had the right to carry a pistol. And then even let's talk about that. A lot of people automatic. You listen to the arrogance. Some people say, "Well, man, what was he doing with a gun?" It was a case 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, where the boy got killed. Another guy killed in Chicago. When he was getting, they take him to the ambulance, which got there. I don't know how late. The police had said something to him. They said, the police said, man, you run around here, you ain't got no gun? This like the Wild Wild West. You know what I'm saying? So that whole dynamic of, you know what I'm saying, the way we frame the questions, the way we frame what's going on with our people, you know what I'm saying, about this here. If this was happening to any other people, it's blatant contradictions this with these cases. You can't even count the latest cases in the last 2 weeks alone. How many white school shooters? How many, Dylan Roof, how many white people went up in black churches and armed? How many white people went up in these Walmarts and movie theaters armed? But somehow there's a procedure, there's a police procedure to go in and retrieve these individuals alive, take them to Burger King, get them something to eat, wait till they dress, take a bath, they get their pictures taken for the mug shot, and the human face, to talk to their parents, go to their school and say what kind of problems they went through. If their girlfriend broke up with them, they had some problems, some issues going on, as opposed to our people. You ain't seen the news do no piece on this guy, Harith Augustus' family. You ain't seen that. You know what I'm saying? The human factor ain't been there. You read about 5 paragraphs before they even mention his name. When dogs die, you know what I'm saying? Go Google Chicago police. A police dog dying. They go when this dog was bred. Man, they say the way the pictures are given, his eyes, all that, tapping to the emotions of the people. I don't know if I was clear with the answer now, bro. Okay. So we live in the record. Y'all feel free to call in, Cub in. What is y'all? We talking about what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? What type of conversation needs to happen? What type of conversations are happening? Why does it stay sidetracked from certain type of conversations? Why must certain people start, calling for certain dynamics? Who are these groups of individuals that the mayor talks about when they bring them in? Say, here's your spokesperson. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, why is it such an issue about us having self-determination? In other words, us fighting on our own terms. We live in the record on Freedom Radio. Telling you, bro, I see you in the building. That's what it is. You got any callers in queue? 929-477-3785. Also 708-223. Callers in queue. Y'all press 1. Y'all Cub being with us, y'all. Again, Cub, congratulations, comrade. Regards to the ceremony, Yes, sir. I was just coming. I say, I had told Sister Conrad, I said that day when we called her on here that protest, I say, I know in the back of her mind, it's like, man, I don't believe the chairman doing this here, and it's again, these we want, I'm reemphasizing this because these should be historical war notes. These should be what makes us stand out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying in an egotistical way, but this is and again, there will be struggles, you know what I'm saying, but that it strengthens character, you know what I'm saying, and again, as service to the people, you know what I'm saying. That's a it's one thing. I say a lot of people escaped chattel slavery, but Harriet Tubman went back to get others, you know what I'm saying, and to run that risk, you know what I'm saying, of doing something, you know what I'm saying, for the people, and not in a charity type of way. A lot of times, you hear people brag about, well, I donated to this, and I gave this, and I gave this person. This is the state ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? In fact, the state need these different fraud philanthropists. They need these different charitable programs. That it's like even in the Bible, they say, I think it's a biblical term. They say, well, you give a man a fish, he eat for the day. When you teach a man a fish, he eat, he eat on and on. And to be able, we want people to be able to go see about the people. We want people, you know what I'm saying, to understand that, you know what I'm saying, we are all liberators. It's like the sister said in LeClaire Court some years ago when her brother was shot by the police. The news said, well, have you talked to the alderman? The sister said, I don't know what the alderman is. I know who Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. is. I know who the Black Panther Party Cubs are. We want, you know what I'm saying, we want people to understand that when cases like this happen in our community, in the case of Harith Snoop Augustus, when cases like this, when Ronald Ronnie Man Johnson, 530 King Drive, dude, we can't we all this wait till election time come. Wait till election time come around and make sure we register to vote. We gotta hit them streets right then. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, hold on, that's not on that day. That's my day. Because the deal is, our communities are set up in a way that none of us will all the time be able to, you know what I'm saying, be on the same level of organization. You know what I'm saying? It's set up like that. It's always gonna be some sect in our community dealing with, you know what I'm saying, family issues. It's always gonna be at the same time trying to put their house up for mortgage to bond their brother up out of jail. You know, so somebody, you know what I'm saying, trying to get some pampers for the baby. All these day-to-day contradictions that we got to deal with, it has our community off balance. You know what I'm saying? We have to find common chords. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, this is something that, you know what I'm saying, that impacts all of us. And say, okay, well, I can't do this right now. I can't move that way. I got to do this. And okay, so be it. I remember these cats was locked up. And they did some time. About 10 years, and they was set. One of them was set. A couple of them was set to get out. They was set to get out like 4 or 5 days. And as a result of some beatings inside the prisons, inside the concentration camps, we had called for a hunger strike, and they were taking people, isolating them, you know what I'm saying, for even just supporting the hunger strike. Held you open to get extra time and some more different things done to you though. And the brothers, they were hesitant about the hunger strike, and our cats trying to force them absolutely. Oh man, they ain't nothing. I said, oh, I know them cats resume. They stood. I said this. I said we found a point of unity. I said, listen, y'all finna get out. Give us a commitment. You're gonna get the word out. You know say what's going on, so on and so forth. That's what revolution. We have to find different points of unity that people can play. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. And that's one of the major dynamics of differences between a revolution and a war. A war, you know what I'm saying, you have your troops, they sue up and they boot up to get out. Revolution, when you gain the minds of participation of the masses of the people. And we have to be innovative, we have to be creative on what roles people have points of unity with the struggle. We live in the wreck, y'all. Making history, taking history, taping history. Y'all feel free to come on in with a 708-223-8953, 929-477-3785. Press 1. Locked and loaded. Welcome to Fremont Radio. Welcome to Intellectual Radio. Hey, right on. Fremont, good to hear you. Fremont, right on. Comrade Cool in the building. Helen Thomas. Motherfucker, go ahead again, bro.
And talking to him, and then out of nowhere, if you a man and you standing there talking to somebody, you don't want nobody walking up behind you, grabbing you and shit. So you just like, hey, why'd you grab me? Let me go. So they automatically take the audio around. So you as you getting grabbed, and you spin around, and if you walking with a gun on you, it's just like you fight. You might feel the gun starting to slip. You might grab it from falling out or something, but you're not trying. He's not spinning around and trying to go into a shooting motion. But because of the way that they are, the way that the pigs did, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They're gonna automatically, they train to unload the whole clip on you. It's not like they're gonna try to shoot you once and try to stop you. They just, you know what I'm saying? So he's talking to one pig, and the other one come up and she grab him and shit. He's like, hey, let me the fuck go. Like, well, hold up. You know what I'm saying? And the one he's talking to, instead of him trying to tell them, no, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Don't engage him. The pigs, their position is, instead of them trying to de-escalate the problem, they make shit worse. Because, man, instead of talking, you don't want nobody reaching up, grabbing you and snatching on you and shit. You're like, hey, let me the fuck go. You know what I'm saying? So, so he instantly goes into, you know what I'm saying? They agitate. They hiding the audio so that you can't really hear what's saying. So they agitate, escalate the problem instead of making shit, you know what I'm saying? De-escalate. You know what I mean? So then you got this fat fucker that go online and be like, yeah, we can show you this video because like the officers did a good job or something. You know what I'm saying? Because he had a gun on. You see how when they deal with their own kind, or they dealing with white people, or they dealing with any other race but us, they find ways to de-escalate the problem. They'll try to talk you down, or they'll back up, or they'll talk and say, hold on. But us, automatically unload the whole clip. Like, hold on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Where is the respect for our lives? But this fucking fat pig is talking about, oh, we got to respect the police's privacy. We can't have the cameras on all the time. I thought they was fucking public servants, right? They supposed to work for the people, right? We paying for their fucking salaries. So why they allow some sort of extra respect for their privacy so they can't have their cameras on all the time? They can't have their audio. People out here fucking dying.
Man.
You know what I mean? So why are they allowed to just do what they feel? the end of the day, they allowed to do this. You know what I'm saying? 1989, the Supreme Court said that police can get away with shit as long as they see it as reasonable within their in their eyes. So as long as they got this shit a reasonable doubt, reasonable as long as they act like these fucking pigs or some kind of angels with guns or something, like they can do no wrong. Like if they see the shit, as long as the way they see it, then they was reasonably afraid. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to go through. They got levels of force they can use. They can go. They don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can go straight to 5. You know what I'm saying? They can just jump straight to deadly force. They don't have to talk to you and see anything. If they see you acting in some kind of threatening manner, they can automatically shoot you and say, "Oh, I felt threatened," or "I'm." You know what I'm saying? When they run into their people, they see bats and knives and shit. They be like, "Oh, stop!" They back up and everything. They see us with a bat. Oh, he was a threat. We had to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't. It's no pause. So our people really gotta. I understand that, we protesting and shit, but we really gotta be more strategic, man. I want to see my people out here getting beat by these motherfuckers. They swinging these billy clubs like, you know what I'm saying, like they aiming for home runs and shit. And we out here with just bare hands or throwing rocks and shit. We gotta really get a little bit more strategic. Obviously, it's times like this when people should be out. When the people are out and up in arms, they need to be knowing about, you know what I'm saying, the clubs and organizations to get involved in and things like that. Because just going out here doing the same shit and getting yourself locked up or beat up on the legs, bro. They really want to set the nation down. They really want to call martial law and who knows what. But really, we can't keep falling into these same traps. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. Because the way the law says, the Quan, the pig that killed the Quan is going to get off. Because as long as the laws as they are, they designed to protect these pigs. All they got to do is have a reasonable doubt. They reasonably felt threatened. But they thought they within reason they can do this shit. So we got to be prepared for that and be more strategic in what we're doing.
Fremont. Yeah, Fremont. I'm here. Oh, yeah, Fremont, please do. Yeah, jump on in. Come on, cub on in.
It don't matter what you do, you know what I'm saying? You're like, man, it's a war, and I'm like, yeah, in the war, I can't tell you that's the war. I can't tell you what to do. But I will say this, I'm not going to engage with the enemy knowing that that's the enemy. If I war with a guy, I'm not going to let him know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he said, oh, you got a right to do this, you know what I'm saying? You know they know your rights and all this campaign that's going on. You know how, like, get the fuck out of town and see them avoid. Like, you got to run a fight, you know
It's not a fair fight when you're thinking like, okay, I'm gonna follow the rules. They know rules because they gonna do whatever the fuck they want to. So yeah, any given day or time, they go, you know, say no matter what you're gonna say. Why you thinking that it's a fair fight? Who put that in the people's heads and say that, okay, it's a fair fight just because I got my gun car, I can walk around here. Shit, when I had my license, when I had no license, because what I'm saying, I got my license. I forgot that I had my license. I'm still treated like I ain't got it. They don't treat me like regardless. I'm a principal because of my kids, who I am. No matter what, they don't care about what the law is. The law is going to do whatever the fuck supposed to do. That's the bottom line, because it don't matter what you got a motherfucking gun car. I got a gun car. Guess what? You still get a case of some other loophole that says you was out of line. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like you say, the bottom line is we fucking at war, and they gonna constantly keep trying to take us out no matter what. So no matter what you think you're doing, it's always more bullshit they can put on you and say, oh well, you know, because they can just say, hey, you was intimidating them. I had to, you know what I mean? I felt threatened. I felt fear. I felt reasonably afraid because the Supreme Court said that in 1989, you know, they can use reasonably as a defense for them. They can use that shit. So basically, any technique.
With y'all too, just I think in addition that we seize the time, even with, you know what I'm saying, with contradiction like this at hand, because the reality is, like, historically, when certain dynamics had to, you know, even happen to a certain class of people, you know what I'm saying, the conversation can be happening because politics impacts even people's hearing. Like, you know what I'm saying, people, you know, they came and see certain. A sister told me the other day after the ceremony, she said the first thing she asked me was, did I have after officiating this ceremony with this union? She asked me that, you got a license for that? I said, that's all you saw? That's something you can question at all this beautiful event, you know what I'm saying? And the deal is, our people are so, like Field Marshal George Jackson said, capitalism affects the economy and affects the psyche. And in certain discussions I'll be wanting to have, I'll be telling other comrades, but the people ain't ready for certain dynamics. The party, like you know what I'm saying, we want to heighten the contradictions, that, but at the same time recognizing that certain things, the people, they really can't, you know what I'm saying, they really can't even grasp, or like they be like, they initially, like, you mean tell me some black folks is feeding some children on their own? A lot of cats can even relate to that. You know what I'm saying? After the morale was built up, you know what I'm saying? It was you see a different type of walk in the community. You seen even the street tribes, a different type of dynamic. You seen what, you know what I'm saying, with Devil Disciples, we are the black disciples. You seen the Black Stone Rangers, we the Black Peace Stone Nation. You seen a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And we fighting for that climb. We really gotta seize the time where people are, they, you know, like the deal. The reality is that people will hear certain dynamics with a Trayvon Martin as opposed to a Mike Brown. I ain't going to cut no corners. These are class contradictions that's within our community, and the people have become clear that that regardless, the state would still get down. Like even when they was during the era of chattel slavery, attacking us in Africa, they exploited that because we had caste. We had caste differences, and it wasn't antagonistic to the point that we you know what I'm saying, we would knock each other, we had to, you know, moving on each other, you know what I'm saying, like these class contradictions, you know what I'm saying. However, the colonials, they exploited that. They, you know what I'm saying, they would grab certain individuals, you know what I'm saying, and that differences exist. And the deal is, certain things happen to certain people, you know, the people but the vanguard, we have to be consistent, you know what I'm saying, in the valley all the time, and really out there. And doing, like, a lot of people ask certain questions, but they ask it in a way where it still has a reference for the state. Like I tell people, like, even when we ride, we say throw your seatbelt on for a different type of way. The way we say it, it's like, okay, we want no unnecessary pigs pulling us over. A lot of people really believe that the state is telling them throw your seatbelts on because they care about them. You know, do the right thing. During the era, the time of prohibition, a lot of people said their children don't drink because it's bad for you. No, mama, it's illegal. Let's be upfront. You know what I'm saying? And we get really, that's one of the dynamics about the era of Trump. You know what I'm saying? With a blatant arrogance, say, no, this what this is. We going over here for the oil, so on and so forth. It at least calls for a actual conversation, an authentic conversation, as opposed to this continuous jiving people. You know what I'm saying? Because like most people, there was this class contradiction. They would rather have a criminal priest who got a license do it. You know what I'm saying? Conduct a bogus ceremony as opposed to, you know what I'm saying, someone that's valued by the community. And a lot of people miss a genius. I heard people tell me, man, Malcolm X only had a 6th grade education. I said, they can't even hear the genius of Malcolm X because that state definition, we really get with the way we got to expose these contradictions, not like the police made a mistake. This is how they get down. You know what I'm saying? And we got we welcome these contradictions. We like it was these bogus organizations when I told they represent the Black Panther Party. A lot of people saying, Chairman, why you ain't shut them down? I said, no, I want them to speak. We want them to speak. We want them to tell these people what they like. And people came and said, Chairman, do you hear what they said? No, did you hear what they said? I've been clear. We want Eddie Johnson to do more press conferences. We want the mayor to do more press conferences. We want not the horse's mouth, out the pig's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because see, a lot of people they couldn't understand what's happening in Chicago and other places. The Kerner Commission came out and said there's 2 different Americans, one black, one white. Then something Black Panther Party letting them know all through the strip. You know what I'm saying? Nixon came out, campaign for law and order. You know what I'm saying? Trump. So this dynamic, listen to what they saying at these press conferences. Listen to the arrogance what they saying. They'll say some of them so bogus. They saying, man, he shouldn't have no gun. Period. You know what I'm saying? In the same breath, they promote for white folks to bear arms. They children. You go to white communities. Go to white communities. I don't care how many children, how many schools get shot up. You never see them sending no pastors out there to turn your guns in. You never see them saying kid rocking on entertain, no rock star tomorrow. We're gonna give you some free tickets. They telling you, I don't care what's going on in your community. We want you unarmed. We want you defenseless. You know what I'm saying? And your thing should be just the hope that you don't get knocked off. You know what I'm saying? We don't come to your house, make a mistake, kick your doors in. We want their arrogance. We want their brash arrogance to come out. They say like it's a movie called Goodbye Uncle Tom. In the beginning, a Goodbye Uncle Tom, the dude say, what did you say? And they were showing a different contrast between the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the French. And I forgot who it was. The Catholic Church was so arrogant. Dude say, how do you justify doing this? He say, slavery is illegal in England. Dude say, God is white, we white. And this is how this go, period. You know what I'm saying? However, before that, you know, it was this liberalism where we helping them out. They're not human beings. You under intense when you heighten the contradictions where their arrogance could come out, and we want it. A lot of time it'll come that close and they're sidetracking. You should seen the other day when we went over there, July 15th, when we were on 71st and Jeffrey. The arrogance of them pigs, they were so used to dealing with them old trained them puppets and them actors. One of them had moved. They tried to grab me. The same way. And the other pig told him, say, he not them. He said he not them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of times they be right in our face, but they be too premature. We can't even see it. You go back and look at a lot of these different speeches and I'm telling you, listen to these rappers. A lot of people talking about they surprised Raekwon, Wu-Tang, hey, the police. Listen to what they've been saying all the time. Listen to what Jay-Z been saying all the time. We encourage them. Listen to Jay-Z come on one second. He say, man, I'm gonna turn Havana to Atlanta. He say this is what he say. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you ain't gotta slow the record down and play it backwards. They tell you. Listen to the speeches. Look what Eddie Johnson, the superintendent of Chicago Police. Only time you seen him cry. Look what he said after the DEA was shot in the face. He said, less than 24 hours, we're gonna shut this city down. We're gonna get some results. You never seen that type of position come out and come to black people being shot down. You know what I'm saying? But then they're seeing these translators, they're seeing these intellectual monkeys out there who got degrees and say that's not really what they're saying. No, they telling us, you know what I'm saying? And as Field Marshal George Jackson, the Black Panther Party said, sooner be gone, sooner done. So as soon as this conversation can happen, that's what we've seen the Black Power movement in the 60s. After the state had exhausted all them remedies, after John F. Kennedy, all them Negroes, them petty bourgeoisie Negroes, some of them same Negroes people still look up to this day, was steady coming in, pacifying and confusing us. You know what I'm saying? Nixon came in and said, this was going down. It's a campaign for law and order. It's been going down, and after Nixon was so arrogant. Nixon said, I want wires in this whole house. He said, sir, you live here. This gonna record you. He said, I'm telling you, I want wires over here. You see the arrogance of the Trump administration. Trump said, man, they said, that's what you don't want to say that. That's the deal. We want these conversations to happen. You know what I'm saying? You see the area, you know what I'm saying? They come out, man, they saying you don't even supposed to, all this, even if a person was a African American and say, man, all this killing this city, and you saying that these cats can be armed, to defend themselves against the so-called crime. These type of conversations, we want this, a lot of people, we want to encourage people say, well, I don't watch the news. I encourage you to watch the news. And I know some people can't believe this all champion lost his man. I'm gonna quote Mayor Rahm Emanuel. This should be a teachable moment. This should be a teachable moment. Because he can say he can get some stuff across that we can't get across. Like I said, man, it's some of this stuff that, man, I told people, I said, I'm thinking about give me a white puppet and go on tour. Because people can understand it then. You know what I'm saying? So we want to encourage this type of conversation. We want to hide these contradictions. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take some of their quotes and say, and going to keep them in context. Ain't going to keep them in context. This is out their mouth. Right on. Freedom, we live and direct on Freedom on Radio, Intellectual Radio, y'all. But good conversation. So we just tag teaming, y'all. So let's keep. We got 5 more minutes. Let's keep it moving and grooving, y'all. Real talk. Jay Nason, Deputy Field Marshal, y'all still on deck? You got press 1 to comment, y'all. We're down to the last 5 minutes. Any callers in queue? Jay, any comments on Facebook? Sister Linda Brewer, fire. Yes, indeed. Y'all, we live in the record on Freedom on Radio, Intellectual Radio, y'all. Y'all feel free to call in. Cub being with us, y'all. We talking about, you know what I'm saying, these cases of police terrorists. We talking about justice for Harith Snoop Augustus. We talking about justice for Ronald Ronnie Man Johnson. We talking about the continuous acts of police terrorism. I mean, how other communities are at least acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the type of propaganda we subjected to. Go look at the article in the Tribune. Look how many paragraphs you got to go down just to even hear his name. You're like, damn, do these people have a name? You know what I'm saying? Are they human? You know what I'm saying? Man, when a dog get killed, man, it starts up with Fido was such and such. Fido, you know what I'm saying, was a golden retriever. You got to go through 10 paragraphs when you find out an individual's name. And you ain't seen his baby pictures. You ain't seen, they interviewed Harith Augustus, a 4th grade teacher. I ain't heard him talk to his auntie. You know what I'm saying? They ain't went down to, you know what I'm saying, how he's impacted people. When it come down to other communities, you see how we should be. Show me them. Let's talk about them babies who impacted, who the 7-year-old children out there right now. You know what I'm saying? How when they hear police signs, how they spook. You know what I'm saying? And how we got to get to we got to come to grips with calling me up front. You know what I'm saying? We're calling this question for this. I'm saying consistently. I'm saying we got to start using words like man, the pigs killed him, the pigs murdered him, you know what I'm saying? The pigs assassinated us. We got to start using terms like, man, where you at? 26 California? They're in the concentration camp. We got to start recognizing terms like such and such got kidnapped. What you mean? I thought he got locked up. I said he got kidnapped. We got to start, you know what I'm saying? We got to start saying, man, what's little James Bond? What's little James Ransom? You know what I'm saying? We got to start we got to start coming, man, we as opposed to, Molly pills, ecstasy pills. Now, what type of chemical biological warfare was such and such on? You know what I'm saying? We had to, you know what I'm saying, man, we had to up the ante and just acknowledging it alone. Because one of America's strengths and one of its weaknesses, one of its Achilles' heels, is, again, as Malcolm X said, is democracy is an hypocrisy. It's a fraud. You know what I'm saying? If you just calling a question on the loan, you know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want that. They want you to talk about everything going on all across the world. Just calling the question. Look at that pig was trying to debate with that sister Diamond Lavish Reynolds when they killed Philando Castile in their car. He had the gun on her. He wanted her to go. I want you to go along with it. She said, no, that's not what happened. She very calm. She said, no, you didn't. That's not what happened. And even we don't say nothing. I can't give you that. You know what I'm saying? Even you got the ups on us. You know what I'm saying? Police, when I was locked up, they would come inside the cell. We shaking this down, look for contraband. Man, you and I both know what's going on. You and I both know what's going on. I'm not, man, you know what I'm saying? And, come on, man. And one of them was shackling me down. Mr. Hammond, you got to understand what I'm doing. I'm not saying nothing. I'm nothing. You know what I'm saying? They got 6 guards around me, shotguns pointed at me all in my head. I'm not, man, if nothing, you done took everything, you done took my property, you took my visits, you can't have my sanity, man. I know, and that's nothing else. You can't have that, and the politics provides us with that. I'm clear. And once alone, they have not won. They took everything else from us. And they done gave you these Ford cars, locked you up, took you to DCFS, took your babies, kicked the doors in, took everything. But the politics will give us our sanity. And that alone lets us know we still get one line, we got some line of defense. They can't take that. You know what I'm saying? So they grab up on us tomorrow. Well, the reason I'm pulling you over to help you out. So no. Even if you don't say nothing, that alone. See, it makes a rapist feel better. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, the victim say, yeah, you're right. I should have been dressed this way. Just nothing. We clear you. Man, the system, you got the ups right now. You got the ups. However, I'm clear of what, you know what I'm saying? Why, you know what I'm saying? It ain't because I didn't go to school. It ain't because I didn't vote. It ain't because, you know what I'm saying, I had to, none of that. And we ain't got to talk to them like we trying to educate them. But we're not finna go produce no others. We're not finna go infuse this to some other generation. We're not finna go tell our other people that, yeah, man, blah, blah, blah. That's what they want us to do. They keep on recycling this. Big Rap in the building. Happy belated birthday, Big Rap. They want us to keep on recycling this, telling other people the reason. You got some people do that. They get some cats to come out and tell them, well, the reason this happened to me, because I did blah, blah. They can't get that from us. Even on our deathbed. You know what I'm saying? Man, Malcolm X say, well, the oppressed do get the oppressed of his back is justified. That's why they have a disdain for these forces. Because most of these people go along. I've been hearing these Negroes. I had guys I was locked up with. Well, man, yeah, I supposed to be in here. I said, excuse me? Well, yeah, man, I didn't do this case, man. I did something before. You think if this system talking about stopping crime, about justice, George Bush should have been locked up, you know what I'm saying? Man, don't flatter yourself. When y'all the one that broke, one guy told me he the one broke dope in Chicago. Man, be for real. Time to wind up, y'all. I guess hey, we live like to load at y'all. Another episode of Free All Radio, Intellectual Radio. Y'all tune in with us, y'all. Same time, same station next week, y'all. Hey, keep your heads up, eyes on the fist clench, y'all. What's the call? Free them all. Same time, same station, y'all. That's what it is. Justice for Harith, Snoop, Augustus. Justice for them all. Right on. Thank you, my brother.